What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. 6'9", JT the Godfather from Marks with Mike's podcast. So I got to talk to y'all about something. Look, if you haven't heard already, let's talk about Anchor. Anchor is one of the easiest platforms to make your podcast. Hold up, let me explain real quick. First of all, it's free. Second of all, it's free. Third of all, did I mention that it's free? There's a creation tool on there that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And did I mention that it's free? Go ahead and download Anchor right now inside your app store. Tell them that Mr. 6'9" sent you.
Hey, yo. What am I never? Are you kidding me?
This is Mr. 6'9", L. Cheech, and Dre The Juiceman. And you're listening to the Marks of Mike podcast. Let's start the show. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Marks and Mike. You already know what it is by the sound of my voice. It's your boy, Mr. 6'9", JT, back in this piece once again. And I'm with my homies. Of course, we got L. Cheese. What's going on, homie?
What's going on, 6'9"? What's poppin'? What's up, Juiceman?
And of course, we got Dre, the Juiceman. What's up, homie?
What up, what up? Shout out to all the juice boxes. What's going on, big man? What's going on, Cheech? Let's have a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we gotta definitely have to try to have a good show. Of course, a lot of crazy things went on this week. We cannot start the show without throwing out a rest in peace to Shad Gaspard, who lost his life going out at the beach and ended up getting drifted away in a wave. Lifeguards came to come save him. And he said, no, don't save me. Save my son. Save my son first. And they were able to get his son, but unfortunately, after days of searching for him, they ended up finding him washed up on the shore, less than a mile away from where he went missing at. It's a tragic ending, man. I mean, that was the news that no one wanted to hear. I know everyone was optimistic. I mean, I was one of those people that was optimistic. I was hoping that they found him alive. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it. But the man died a hero. He died a hero. He did something that every father out there. I'm not a father yet, getting ready to be, but I'm pretty sure that's something that every father would do in that predicament. How did that news hit you, Cheech?
Yeah, well, it was unexpected, because he seems to be a good wrestler at the time, when he was wrestling, but now he was into acting and all that stuff. And everybody was talking well about him, I remember the last time pretty much it was a video that went viral when, Coffee Mania was going on at WrestleMania. And I was there and I guess, him and MVP, they were watching and it was dope, But it's just crazy because you don't expect people to go out like that, that particular way. But then just the fact that what affected me and hit me was, like you said, the fact that his son, and like you said, that's like an instinct that you would do, and just thinking about being in that position, it just drives chills down your spine, and it's pretty sad. I'm not saying like I was the biggest, Crime Time fan or whatever, but they got something, for that period of time, and they had something going, with the Tims, and Timberland. They had a little stick for a moment, but as you could see, as human beings, they had different goals, other, after wrestling and different projects that they wanted to do. So they expanded, and it was sad because it seemed like, he was just starting his potential. But just to hear how everybody spoke about him, and, pretty much his last actions, that he did before, unfortunately, you know, dying, it's, it's crazy. It hits you, not as a wrestling fan, but as a human being, as a father.
Dre, what about you, my man?
Yeah, I was shocked, and it's real sad that that happened, but I mean, I still can't believe it, but I don't know, man. I've been at a loss for words for like a few days. Like I just been on Twitter reposting. I've been reposting stuff. Just with him. Just showing memories of him, and I'm glad that the WWE actually gave showed some love to his family and stuff. And he died as a hero. Remember, this is not the first time he did something like this. He actually stopped the armed robber a few years back as well. So, it's just
Yeah,
sad
you're
that
right.
yeah, it's just sad that it happened, and I just feel so bad for his wife and his son. I just man, too soon, man, too soon.
39
Yeah,
years old.
39, bro. 39 is like, here I am at 33 getting ready to go on 34. So, not too much older than myself. He's actually the same age as my older brother. My older brother turns 40 this year, but, you know, 39 years old. Barely getting the chance to really go out there and live life. But I tell you what, for the time that he did have, he definitely touched a lot of people, a lot of lives, and that to me is legendary. Doesn't matter how far the in ring work got. His touch outside the ring has made him legendary. Far as a human being, man. But we gotta, definitely gotta
So let
just
me ask you this, big man. Not to
what's up?
cut you off, big man. Let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you this. So should he? I think he should get the Warrior Award. What y'all think?
I'm with it.
Um, yeah, 100%.
It's just well deserved for him for what he's done. Saving lives. I mean, that's a hero. Hey, save my son first. I want my son to experience life. Come get me last. That's big, and it just makes me think like it should make other people think as well. You should value your life because at the end of the day, it could be gone in an instant. You could wake up, anything could happen. So everybody, my listeners, my juice boxes, everybody else, just give thanks for being here. Just thank the Lord that you was able to wake up and experience a day. I've always been the saying told to me, like, always learn something from the day because you never know, like anything can happen. You could walk out here and lightning strike you or a car hit you or anything, so just keep living life and enjoying every minute of it and never take it for granted.
Amen. Amen. Definitely right on that, bro. Definitely right on that, man. But once again, our hearts, you know, Hart, our love, our condolences go out to his friends, his loved ones, anyone that's had a personal, relationship with him. My heart goes out to him. I didn't, never got the chance to have that, you know, haven't met them yet, but I will tell you guys this: I was actually working on actually trying to get them on the show. Um, that's the crazy part, because it wasn't too long ago on this show that we actually mentioned Crime Time inside the PB Smooth interview and the Trey Lamar interview, and also the Jocelyn Navarro interview. It's like we mentioned them 3 times, far as either having that match go on. But yeah, it was definitely on my bucket list to get them on the show. Unfortunate, but at the same time, that's a hero, and that's all I have to say about that. But let's move on the show, and let's talk about something else that happened. Well, might as well. Dark Side of the Ring. Owen Hart, the story. That was something unexpected. I'm not gonna say it was unexpected, like far as the episode. Of course, we knew that was coming, but I wasn't expecting to get that much information out of that episode. I mean, some of the things I knew beforehand, and of course, a whole bunch of details came to light. Uh, Once again, just another tragic situation, of a person going out there just to go perform a stunt and ends up losing his life. It's definitely crazy, how the story, definitely unfolded, and far as the aftermath of everything. Like, I didn't originally know, far as with Owen Hart, the type of release that Owen was on when coming down, from the Raptors. Did you know that, Cheech?
Oh no, that was, what I mean, that was just as shock as everybody, what I mean, and if just with that episode, Dark Side of the Ring should be, renewed for another season. First of all, before I say anything else, but I guess Vice is going through some changes about how the programming goes, but that the episode, like everything, you start seeing how ahead of his time he was. At first, you was little when I was a little young, when I used to see him, it was like you didn't see that, but he was, a beast. Like he was doing some shit in '86. Like what I mean. That I never seen. I seen it then after the fact, but everything, the little bits and pieces, and just the fact that his wife, what I mean, over 20 years, actually face to face, you could see how she looks to his kids. What I mean? It was just with that alone, you had people's attention because you only heard, you know, and not so much you didn't hear nothing about what actually happened that night. But having Jim Ross, Corderas, the referee, the actual wrestler that he was gonna face that night. You know what I mean? Like all this, it kind of takes you back because I remember watching that pay-per-view live. You know that time, so everything it took me back, and it's just it's crazy because it could have been a lot worse. You know what I mean? From the original plans. Somebody else was supposed to be attached to Owen Hart. You know what I mean? But she she wasn't like falling for that. She wanted like closure, but her way. You know what I mean? Like I guess she didn't have the, of course, the wrestling mentality and stuff. That's why she, so against him going again to the Hall of Fame. But had all the right, to find out which she did. But to me, the fact that the kids, what I mean, like they actually spoke and everything that she did, dude, it was crazy. But you see him in another light now. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you wish, like, fuck, man, what could it have been?
Yeah, man, definitely. And that's the thing about, us as fans of wrestling. We see the wrestler, but we don't see the family man, the family woman, the human being behind the character. to us fans, well, this is the one mold they should always be in. But you know, it's definitely an eye opener, and I don't use that lightly because I, me personally, I haven't seen what Owen kids look like. Period. So that was my first ever seeing a glimpse of them. But once again, for them to lose the father at such a young age, and having to grow up without one, and basically, finding out how how it happened and everything, that's traumatizing for a kid. Period. But to touch on what you were saying, Cheech, most deaf. Owen Hart is Hall of Fame worthy, but will it ever happen? No. Between the mother and son, not gonna happen. But I definitely understand. What about you, Dre?
Okay. Yeah, first of all, I finally caught up. Just caught up. I wasn't
Hey,
behind. Finally caught up. I've always been a week behind on this stuff, but you learned a lot. You know, you learned a lot about what happened that day. What was the reaction from certain people? The Godfather, Jim Ross. Um, I was really intrigued. Like y'all brought back up the harnesses. How Martha explained that it was certain harnesses that it wasn't supposed to, like, he wasn't supposed to be wearing and things like that. And the interesting thing was what I guess when she said when she was suing him that she couldn't sue him and what and couldn't she sued him in Missouri because that's where it happened. But then Vince wanted it to move to Connecticut because a lot of the damages, he didn't want to pay all that, so he countersued, talking about Owen breached the contract, and you know,
Patty.
yeah, that's crazy, and he got a lot of slack because if that was me and one of my performers died, and then to hear that, can we go 14? That bastard son of a bitch Kevin Dunn say he's dead. You're on in 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you kidding me? Like, you care that much about a product when it's a dead man in the ring, blood everywhere, and you just scoop him up like he's a piece of trash? As much as this is the profession we love and we love to talk about it, um, it has its bad things, and you learning, watching this documentary and learning from that, it just lets you know that it's not a good. It's not a. Unless you really love it and you want to do it, go for it. But at the end of the day, I mean, just by watching that episode lets you know that what kind of future you can be in if you're not a top star, or you don't take care of yourself, or you don't save your money. So you know, just by watching all that and how they was treated, and I can understand why Owen would never be in there, and I don't blame Martha for not wanting them to put his name in there, and they don't deserve it. After watching that, it really showed me a lot about how Vince McMahon is.
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, instead of stopping the show went on. But you know,
Uh,
I
Do
guess
you
big.
think?
Go ahead.
Hey, say my bad on what you. Do you think like the police? They had the right to shut it down or whatever. But do you think that was probably like part of the show? Because like you said, like the show should have had stopped. But like they kept going. So it's I don't know. It's crazy because at the end of the day, it has to do with money and insurance, and what I mean, um, deliver something that you promised to deliver as a pay per view, whatever, no stop, and it, after 20 something years, and And it's so freaking sad, to just go back and look, you know, the matchups. Oh man, it was a sad, bro. Like that was like the season ended. You know what I mean? Like wanting more. And it's sad. It was kind of not messed up, but Bret Hart never answer back, to be part of it, and with that being said, the episode still came out like smooth, press out, Jim Cornette could be whatever, but you're seeing him break down. He used to, manage him. It was intense and sad.
Yeah, man, definitely was intense. But I mean, hey, Brett not being on it, I mean, that's Brett's decision or what have you. But you know, Dark Side of the Ring, once again, if Vice doesn't pick it back up, then I'm pretty sure Netflix will be knocking right on the door to make that a Netflix original. Trust me. But moving on a happier note, let's get into some NXT and AEW. First off, gotta give a huge shout out to NXT for once again having a phenomenal show. NXT has not failed me yet thus far. That cruiserweight tournament that's going on. First of all, we end up having a sudden death 3-way for the championship. That's going to happen next week because of this week's episode. So next week we get Drake, Maverick. We get
The
Jay.
racehorse.
What happened now?
That's it. That's my racehorse. Hopefully, like they listening. You know what I mean? Because the story's there. You know what I mean? So hopefully they fucking go with it. Kushida. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You ain't gonna waste a fucking Kushida law. You know what I mean? But anyway, my bad.
No, you good. I mean Drake, Maverick, Jake Atlas, Kushida, triple threat next week. I don't know who's gonna win. I mean, of course, I would like Drake Maverick to win. I mean, Kushida can always grab the title from Drake Maverick. But I would love for Drake to win just because it's a perfect ending to a story. And I'm gonna say it like this: God damn it, if Otis can get the Money in the Bank briefcase, Drake Maverick deserves the Cruiserweight Championship. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Uh, of course, NXT related. Now we know for the In Your House pay per view, we're gonna have Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Cross 1-on-1. Can't wait for that to happen. I think that's gonna be real intense. Just the fact
A
that
great match.
speak on it, Juice Man, speak on it.
That's going. You know what kind of match I see? I could see them
What'd
two
you see?
putting on. I wish it was fans. This is a match that needs fans. First of all, for the intro, it's
Word.
goddamn. But these two could put on a match like him and Gargano at in Chicago. That street fight, probably one of the best matches of all time in my book. But I think them two could put on a match 10 times better than that. Mark my words. Watch and see, people. I wish it was fans. I really wish it was fans. Oh my goodness.
And
Yes.
then,
Soon.
yeah, real soon, hopefully. I think I think they're saying by September. We'll see.
Bro, what about what it seems that's gonna go down? Keith Lee versus Gargano. Gargano going in as a heel. You're gonna take some good bumps for the big guy.
Yeah, Gargano versus Keith Lee. Gargano as a heel. I mean, it's doable. We've seen heel moments from him before, but the crowd end up just definitely cheering for him. But he's definitely getting that heel out of him. I mean, I'm loving it, the whole thing with him and Candace, and then you got Mia Yim and Keith Lee. So I don't know. This is gonna be good. North American Championship on the line. I think that's gonna be a real good match. Of course, looks like we're going to have a triple threat match. We're going to have Charlotte. We're going to have Io Shirai. And we are going to have the former NXT Women's Champion inside the match also. Um, so that's a triple threat. Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, and Charlotte also going down. That's going to be nice. I mean, NXT was just pretty solid. I mean, Mia Yim, of course, going over Santana Garrett. The Roger Strong versus Dexter Lumis. Now that was a very good one. I mean, this Dexter Lumis character. I'm sorry, but this is definitely going to be big time once the crowd is back. I mean, it's already good right now with no crowd. Just him, just interacting with the camera itself to us viewers at home. He's doing a great job, a real good job. And who knows, we may actually get uh, Team 1-2, Danny Burch and Oni Larkin versus Imperium for those tag team championships pretty soon. So, I mean, anything can happen at this point. I just know that NXT put on one hell of a product this past Wednesday, and I can't say much more because I have to talk about AEW, which also put on a great show as well. The only thing I didn't like is we ended up with injuries out of that whole show because, I understand that we building up for Double or Nothing, but we got to slow down, man. You definitely can't injure the talent. I mean, the talent has to be able to perform, and unfortunately, Britt Baker goes down with a torn ACL.
No, man, that was so messed up. You know what I mean? Like she was getting a little sizzle behind her, but man, that ACL, that ain't no joke, man. It, it's sad.
Trust me, I know all about the ACL injury. But yeah, man, it was definitely
Same.
sad. Definitely sad because like you said, she was finally getting that little steam behind her because on the Indies she was hot. She was hot, like good, like hot fire. And then, in my opinion, it's like she had to transition from indie wrestling to being ready for television wrestling, and also being a television character as well. See, and that's one thing, of course. That differentiates. I fucked with that word so bad. But this is what makes wrestling, independent wrestling, and pro wrestling two different things. You have to be able to not only work work in the ring, but you have to be able to work a certain style and work a certain angle, and also be a character. So there's a there's a lot that goes behind it, but it was just catching that steam, man. I was liking this side of Britt Baker and torn ACL because someone lands on her knee. Not going to name any names, but and that was it. And then we had the spot also where Ray Phoenix looked like he got injured, but now they're saying that he's clear to go.
Do you think they botched that that move? Like, they would pretty much they supposed to be there for him to, like, kind of ease the the fall. That shit became a gift real quick.
Yeah, that's definitely a trending gift because it's like, yeah, they should have been there to catch him, but who knows? Maybe Ray Phoenix, didn't jump far enough. I mean,
It's either way you look at it. All I know is Ray Phoenix fell to the ground like a sack of rocks. Like it was just splat. That's all I heard. I was like, damn, he hurt. I just know he hurt. But hopefully, the injury's not as bad, and hopefully, he's allowed to go on and perform at Double or Nothing.
What about
And
that stampede? The stampede.
speak on it, Cheech.
Man, it was building up. You haven't seen the Bucks, for a few episodes, and Adam Page. So it was like, the show leading into the Double or Nothing pay per view. And so you will know eventually something had to go down with all of them. But Hardy, Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy in the main event, against Sammy the Hispanic Guevara. And what I mean, they did their thing, but then all of a sudden, boom, they ended up in the stadium. The Jacksonville Jaguars play football. And only like they've been know how to do. Do different things and stuff like that. So next thing you know, you build up. I didn't catch it at first. I would like to go back, but I guess from far away you got the camera angle, but you see somebody running from like, some Rudy shit. You know what I mean? And running, and next thing you know, it's fucking Adam Page. Oh shit! But it's like literally he ran the length of the fucking field. But it's different. I mean, the way they shoot it and stuff like that. So I don't know if there's gonna be any turns, but I guess they're good as in like putting exposure on a lot of wrestlers at the same time. So right now you got the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Matt Hardy. You know what I mean? Like the factions. So the factions are always dope. You know what I mean? So a ring in the middle, man, at the 50-yard line. You know what I mean? What they got is something crazy is gonna happen. When Jericho's there, which to me in the last 10 years, the GOAT. You know what I mean? Everything he touches is gold. And looking forward, for the pay per view, Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a pretty okay pay per view. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. In my opinion, the main event doesn't scream out. I'm gonna spend $50 on it. Moxley versus uh, Brody Lee. To me, Brody Lee.
How could you?
Hey, bro, I gotta keep it real. I'm just talking about just okay from a fan standpoint of watching the product. Brody Lee ain't all that hot. I mean, he's not. He literally just appeared less than 90 days ago. Think about that, Cheech. Less than 90 days ago, he appeared. Less than 90 days ago, he's only had what two squash matches, maybe three. He hasn't built anything for me to say that. Oh, you know what? This is going to be a real good rivalry. This is going to be a real good match because the character itself hasn't, to me, won me over. It's just a parody of a parody character, in my opinion. But he hasn't won me over. If we're talking about win-loss records, so you're trying to tell me the guy with 4 wins or 3 wins gets a title shot right off the back versus someone that's probably 8-2, 8-1. Yeah, I understand 3-0. Trump's that, but he hasn't had enough matches for me to be invested into that feud. If I'm looking at it just from a wrestling standpoint, that is nothing but Luke Copper versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest,
And,
bro.
and,
That's
and
messed
I'm
up.
yeah, and I'm being biased because I ran into him at the UFC when they were here in Cleveland. You know, he was at Harry Buffalo, and he was sitting. By that time, he was out with an injury, and you know what I mean. So, like, you know, like, you know, it was dope just to, because I know he's capable of a lot more. But like you said, you know, the parody thing. So like I said, it's just more like bias. Like I'm trying to like black all that stuff or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like uh, they have to put names that people know. I guess you know what I mean. I guess I don't know. You know, I'm trying to enjoy it for what it is. But if you dissect it like you did, JT man, no, you know,
Nah, what you think about that, Dre? The main event for Double or Nothing. Don't get me wrong, having Tyson there is a great plus, which is going to draw in pay-per-view numbers. Even if Tyson does the same thing he did with the whole Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels spot, and he knocks out the winner or the loser of the match or what have you. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, that's a good buy point. But are you sold on the main event between Moxley versus Mr. Brody Lee, Juice Man?
Mm, I would say so. Mm, I mean, you just gotta wait and see. You know, I mean, the name don't shout out, "Oh, this gonna be a big match." Of course, the names don't shout it out, except Moxley. But you never know, JT. This might be a pretty good match. I'm just gonna take it as a wait and see approach, I guess. You know, it could turn around and be the match of the night. You never know. So let's just wait and just take the approach. You know, I think that they realize that they're not. I mean, they're in competition, but they're not trying to. They're trying to be in their own lane, and I don't have a problem with that. We did agree on the parodies was a little too much. But it is a little too much. I want to see a more darker side of Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee. But let's just wait and see, man. It might be a good match in my opinion. It might be a good match. I'm just gonna take the wait and see approach.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm not saying it's not going to be a good match. I mean, I know it's going to be a good match because they put on good matches before. I'm just saying that the build up doesn't match the main event. If you get what I'm saying, they've only had 2 run-ins. Count that. Just
You
do
so
it.
you basically saying the build up is not there, and
No,
that makes sense.
yeah,
That makes sense.
it doesn't. To me, it doesn't scream. I'm going to go spill. I'm going to go spend $50 because it hasn't been enough build up, and that's one of the things that AEW has been doing well over its time is building up feuds and building up matches. This just seemed thrown together. You know, basically you're having Moxley face everyone that he's faced already in WWE for a title match. Think about it. He faced Swagger for a title match, and he's facing Brody Lee. But nevertheless, um, I hope the match turns out good. I would love for it to turn out good, of course, because they're going to put on a hell of a match. The build up just doesn't scream to me. But who do you think that the mystery opponent is inside that ladder match at Double or Nothing, Cheech?
I must say Brian Cage, since he'd been out with an injury. I don't know the timeline, but he's been out of Impact TV for quite some time. Um, I I don't know who else could it be. It could be somebody from the Indies. You know, um, but as of now, me personally, I must say is Brian Cage.
What about you, Dre? Who you think?
I'm gonna agree with Cheech. I think it's gonna be him too. But knowing the wrestling world, it's probably gonna be somebody we never thought it would be because they always dupe us at the end anyway. So, but I think I'm gonna go with Cheech, and I think the same thing. I'll just wait and see. This I'm actually gonna look at this pay per view. This will be my first full AEW pay per view I'm going to actually watch because I'm really,
So
What? Nice.
like I've watched a lot of snippets of the other pay-per-views, but I'm gonna really watch this full pay-per-view, and I have my ways to get into the pay-per-views. Can expose my secrets. Don't want any problems.
got you on that, man. Got you on that. But yeah, definitely banking for a good show for Double or Nothing. My pick, as far as that mystery opponent, I'm gonna go left field, and I am going to say that the mystery guy is Jeff Cobb, and that's it. Uh, Got to talk about SmackDown real quick. Just just to highlight just a couple things. First off, I want to say, and actually Dre said it to me. He said that SmackDown has finally been getting good, and I agree. Between last week and this week, it's been pretty good. I mean, very good matches. AJ going over Nakamura, and then you had, of course, Jeff Hardy going over Sheamus with the roll up. And then that Bailey versus Charlotte match. I mean, they're building up pretty good SmackDowns, especially during this time. But what was your standout moment from this past SmackDown's episode, Ray?
I'm liking the storyline with Otis and them, and the whole thing with Dolph Ziggler, and I like that he got the Money in the Bank, and how he tried to, he teamed up with Braun Strowman, and then he I might cash it in. I'm not gonna do it. Well, we all know at the end of the day, he's probably gonna lose it to somebody anyway. But it's just fun to see that, and I love that they keeping this storyline going with him and Mandy. Like I've been rooting for that for a long time, watching Mandy basically dog him, and then he finally got his girl, and then having a whole storyline with him, Sonya Deville, and Dolph Ziggler. I think that is great. That is awesome. That's been some of my favorite points watching it. Watching SmackDown lately. So that's what's been keeping me intrigued about it.
Yeah, SmackDown finally. I don't know. This could be a turning point. Maybe going back to the glory days, because guess who has been
I don't know about
officially?
all that.
Guess who's been officially traded to SmackDown? If that
Who
really even matters, but AJ Styles, he's officially a part of the SmackDown roster.
is he back, or is he just there for the tournament?
No. It was announced by Michael Cole that he's officially traded to SmackDown. The
Welcome
first of
back.
many trades. So we'll see what
Welcome back.
happens.
Welcome back.
Yeah, that definitely works. Hopefully, there's more trades. Maybe Shinsuke goes to Raw. We'll see. But we got to get into this interview. We definitely got to get into this interview with PME. We took some time out earlier, should I say last month, got the chance to talk to PME, to catch up with these guys to see what was going on with them during the pandemic. Trust me, you're going to love this re-up episode. It's the second time we've had PME on the show. And me and Cheech actually got to go 2-on-2 with PME on this interview. So you're going to learn a lot of new things. Some things you probably already knew, but you're going to learn a lot of new things about these guys. And we just have one bomb-ass conversation. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. But we're going to get into it after this quick.
Hey man, it's Pro Wrestling Dad. Just followed you on Spotify. I'm looking to win some PB Smooth merch, man.
The next one should be today. But now.
Hey y'all, this is Brandy at Brandy Arts Tattoo on Instagram. I'm actually PB Smooth's tattoo artist, so that's how I found you guys. I really, really enjoy your podcast. I'm a mark of wrestling also, so I super enjoy it. I listen to it while I'm tattooing. I can't wait for more content, and I was just leaving you a message to say awesome job. Thanks.
I just want to give a huge shout out to the Marks with Mike's podcast. I enjoyed listening to the episode that I listened to with Savio Vega. I enjoyed your guys' layout, how you did a review of the week and conversation. You guys talked about some interesting stuff about the current situation that we got going on, and numbers and all that. Picked the mind of Savio, and it was pretty interesting to hear what he had to say about this whole situation as well. So keep doing what you're doing. My name is Joel. I'm from the Brink of Sanity Pro Wrestling Podcast. You guys keep doing your thing, man. Peace.
Hello, my name is Andy, and I want to give a salute to the Marks with Mikes. I just got finished listening to the Savio Vega podcast, man. That was fire. So I'd like to congratulate you guys on a good show, and I'm looking forward for the next episode. Y'all have a good one.
Hey guys, over at Marks with Mikes, this is P Carney87 over on Instagram. Just reaching out in regards to the Big Twan Tucker giveaway. Keep doing what you're doing. Looking forward to the future episodes.
This is Prophecy from the Everything Show. Just wanted to call in and let you know that I do appreciate the love and support that you've given me. And I love what you're doing over on your part, because I am tuned in. I love what you guys are doing. Now I'll always be a listener. I appreciate it, and you take it easy.
Welcome back to another edition of Marks with Mikes. You already know what it is by the sound of my voice. That's right, it's your boy, Mr. 6'9", JT, back in this piece once again. And of course, I'm rolling with my homie, my co-host, L. Cheech. Now, like we promised you at the top part of the show, we told you that we had a special guest. It's another re-up edition of the show. And of course, when we say re-up, that means we've had him on the show before in the past. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what I'm talking about the AIW Tag Team Champions. I'm talking about Philly C, Marino T. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Erotic City, it is PME. How's it going, fellas?
Ain't nothing but love for you, man. Thank you for doing the hookup, man. With that, I didn't even know you were doing something like that with the t-shirts, man. That's really dope. That you're gonna do some shit, do that to help us out, man.
Yeah, we appreciate that a lot, man. You don't have to do that at all. So thank you.
Yeah, you don't, but thank you, man.
No, man, no. Trust me, man. This is definitely something that I want to do for the independent wrestling community. Definitely want to do that.
Thank you so dude, much, doing things like that, man, is the little things in life that's gonna get us all through this bullshit. Like, no matter what's gonna be on the other side of this fucking shit rainbow crap that's going on in this fucking world. It's we as wrestling fans, as you guys and wrestlers, as us, we all know as soon as they open the gates, it's just gonna be fire running. Asses hauling asses, and everybody's gonna be back to fucking us. I would say would be back to normal. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like nothing in the world has changed with us as wrestlers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fans and shit are not there in certain promotions, but we're still there. You know what I mean?
Most definitely, man. Most definitely.
Good luck.
But no, thank you, boys. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, thank you. I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy.
Yes, stay safe, man. I'm gonna have to get back. Well, I don't know. It might snow tomorrow. I gotta go fucking roof tomorrow.
Well, just stay safe.
Roof.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Hey, it sucks. Roofing sucks, but it's fucking you got to pay the bills, brother.
Yeah, we'll get that stimulus check.
Oh yeah, I did get that. You guys still working? Yeah, I got mine.
Yeah, I got mine too.
PME's rolling deep in the cash. Not really. It all went fucking south as soon as I got it. I had fucking bills to pay. I got car payment and rent right like back to back. So that fucking split up real quick.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn.
You guys working or no?
Oh yeah, I'm always working.
Still going at it. Thank God, you know.
Yeah. Hey, in this time with like it just feels weird. Like nobody knows what to do, man. Because it doesn't feel like when I think of like a pandemic, I think of fucking like some fucking Resident Evil bullshit. This just feels weird. It just feels like your mom told you to stay the fuck home. Don't go out. You have a curfew now. Be home when the lights are on. You know. It just feels weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely feel that, man. But hey, once this is over, everything's gonna.
Like I said, we're just gonna go. We're gonna go back to normal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Far as the wrestlers, yeah, they don't go back.
As far as wrestling and like wrestling fans, I feel like that's just gonna fall back into place. You know, the rest of the world,
like you never left.
Like exactly. Yeah. It's just like you never left. That's the way I'm feeling it. Because like if they say fans can go back to WWE, I feel like fans are just gonna go back and it's gonna go right back to what it was. Just fans interacting and, you know. I forgot to say I do like AEW having fucking wrestlers out there. That makes more fucking sense of having some kind of noise. And then I didn't want to put everything on blast being like, oh, fucking the goddamn ring's mic'd. Maybe you don't have the fucking ref wear a fucking mic piece so you can hear the wrestlers talk to one another. That would be really nice.
Yeah. There's so much stuff that, you know.
I'm still trying to get a job there, though. That's why I didn't want to bury him too bad. Didn't want to bury him yet. I gotta work there, then I can bury him.
Let's say I know next thing you know, they go back 7 years ago on his Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they would go back in some bullshit like that. Yeah. Dude, I wanted to talk about the wrestling Twitter After Dark. Has anybody seen that shit?
Bro,
I see shit.
I'm too young for that, bro. That's my best time.
If you don't get your fat fucking asses off this goddamn Twitter, you fucking rotten broads. Like, god damn, like, I mean,
man, everyone
dudes, like, everybody, like, I get it, man. Everybody rock out. But when the hell did everybody just was like, you know what, there's nothing else to do. Here's a picture of my butt cheeks.
Such a horny
I'm about to just take it a step further. I'm about to just show my asshole. This is just a fucking straight asshole on fucking Twitter. Here you go, motherfuckers. You feeling now, Mr. Krabs?
Yeah, that was nuts. I was like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Marino told me about that shit. He was just like, hey, man, you see this shit? And I looked at it and I fucking scrolled and I fucking looked and I was like, oh, buddy, what have I been staring at for the last hour and a half? The fuck is this horse shit?
Yeah, I think I saw Eric Stevens, like, in other words, telling him, like, instead of putting it for free, like, you know what I mean, do a Patreon or something, you want to sell naked pictures or something like that, he said.
Yeah, dude, I wish I was a girl to be like, man, you want to buy a naked picture of me for $10? That would be great. Help me my tiny fucking needs. Fans only, right? No creeps. no creeps, just fans. Oh, really? Okay.
Oh.
Hey, what do you call the guy that bought your underwear for $5,000? A creep.
He's definitely a fan.
Oh, he's a super fan. Fuck. That's why, dude, if somebody wanted, I would rip my underwear off of me right now for fucking some kind of money like that. I'll give you $500 for your ring-worn undies. Okay.
You got it.
I'll shit my pants if you want. You're like, for that kind of money. You want to give me $500? I'll crap right now, brother. On the spot. Tell me when. On command. Tell me when. Go. Get the timer. Ready?
1. Hey, if I'm getting something ready, bro, you splitting that 500.
Oh, dude, for sure. For sure. Come on. We've been splitting everything fucking 50-50, 60-40.
On a happier note, Philly, let's see your top 3 matches of 2019.
One of my number one favorite matches is against TDT at Smash in Canada that we had. We had a match with TDT. If you haven't got the chance, check them out. They're the best tag team, I think, in Canada that has been overlooked, underlooked, overcooked, whatever you want to say. But that's my number one if I had to pick my 2019 match. But then, like Marino said, Colin Cheech, they've been there ever since we started, like at AIW. They've been like watching us like hawks, and they've been there riding our asses the whole time. But they're our greatest enemy and our bestest friends, because without these guys, we wouldn't have what we have, I think, without the help of people like Colin and Cheech and many other people that have took a hand and gave a hand to help me and Marino with our wrestling, even if it's talking to us in the back or anything, because we try to stay connected with all these people so we can try to pick their brains. So I would say it was TDT and any match with Colin and Cheech, because each match gets better and better with them.
I was just watching a match with them and Ryan Cassidy from Revenge. It was, I think, November time. It just goes to show we could have so much fun with those guys, because we spent like a minute and a half of a match literally just fighting over a beer in some of the most like unique ways I've ever seen, and it was so much fun to be able to do that with them.
Yeah, I can. The thing about tag team wrestling, especially, I mean, you're able to not only feed off each other, but it's a teachable moment, and it's almost in a sense of a tradition, because just like those guys pass down knowledge to you, you all were able to pass down knowledge to the Bitcoin boys, and those are guys who are also new. They're new on the scene, but seeing them in the ring with you all, it's almost like you're kind of grooming them, and in a sense, and it's not to take anything away from them, because of course everybody holds their own, but I'm just looking at everything I've been able to see as a fan. It's like, man, these Bitcoin boys are going to be pretty good once they're able to get the repetition in and be able to be on the card more. But man, it's just it's a constant cycle, or as the kids would say, the circle of life. But definitely that was definitely one of my top moments. So let's also talk about, of course, the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room being that there were a lot of shows that were planned, of course, before this chick called Rona messed everything up. I mean, I think Rona is the equivalent to Joe Exotic's Carol Baskin. It's like, I can't stand coronavirus. I can't stand it at all.
Hello, cats and kittens.
yeah, but
I can't stand it. This being cooped up, I like. Don't get me wrong. I like relaxing and chilling and playing video games and stuff just as much as the next guy. But can't take your girl
on your
out.
own terms.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You can't take your girls out. You can't go to the movies. You can't, do the things you used to do. And then if you all look back, you take little things for granted by going, just going out to eat or going to the movie theater or little things like that. Now that everybody's locked in, everybody wants to be out. but nobody was out when we were able to be out and appreciate it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like now you could look kind of at your bank account. Like, damn, I used to eat a lot out. I used to go eat at restaurants and stuff. It's got, for some to some extent, it's kind of helpful. You know what I mean? You don't get to spend as much. Gas is cheap, but like you said, when it's restrictions put on yourself, it ain't like you choose to stay home. You know what I mean? It's like they telling you to do this, to know that, and it's fucking bananas, man.
No, it's
Yeah,
great,
being
man. All this down.
Go ahead, Marino.
Thanks, pal. I was just gonna say, it's just like with all this time, man. There's it's a lot of time to really look at any bad habits you could have and turn them into good ones. As bad as this whole situation is, we can all find positives in it, like you guys were just saying.
Yeah. So on this downtime, have y'all been watching any wrestling? What's your thoughts on the, no fans, uh, shows as they still going on? And now that all of a sudden they are essential, at least in Florida. We're not gonna talk politics, but what do you guys think about the wrestling scene right now?
One thing I am gonna say, shout out to any of those guys who are still performing and going out there in like a real tough situation in front of nobody, which that's what we all live for with wrestling, is to perform in front of people. So to have to like change in this new tough environment and still try to put something good out there while also risking their own health for all of us is, I mean, kudos to them. Then that can't be easy at all.
No, this no fans and no people around the ring. I like it. I appreciate it for what it is, but at the same time, it doesn't have that one spark that it like, because the fans are the reason it has the spark. That's what makes wrestling is the fans.
Yeah.
And not
crazy.
having them is it's tough to. Well, me and Marino are used to wrestle in front of no one, so that ain't nothing new. But
Yeah.
like doing it on national TV is a little different, and for everybody around the world to see.
Yeah, definitely. Especially around Tampa, Tampa weekend, I was looking so forward to going down there and, checking the different shows and stuff. Yeah. But man, I never would have thought. Once I saw that they canceled the NBA, then I was like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
As soon as they started canceling everything, I knew we were just a matter of time. It was just coming down to it.
I mean, I had a gut feeling because it's like, listen, once you cancel the NBA, shit just got real because the NBA next to the NFL and the NHL is one of the most marketable businesses across the world. Not just U.S., but the world. So once they canceled the NBA, I was like, man, they gonna cancel WrestleMania. I know they gonna cancel it. And it was like, when it happened, I was more so. I wasn't. I ain't gonna say I was mad. I was more so upset that, okay, what the hell is going on, and how come we don't have a handle on this, as a country. But that's either here or there. I'm not gonna get into politics, but I was more so upset. It's like, damn, it's like a lot of these guys, like yourself, like Philly and Marino, and a lot of countless independent wrestlers that I've gotten a chance to have conversations with, getting a chance to know. It's like I instantly felt bad for all of them because it's like, damn, this people don't understand, and this is what you got to understand. WrestleMania, yeah, it's big for WWE, but that thing is just as huge for independent promotions and independent wrestlers, because this point in time during Mania it's a big time for independent, because you're getting the chance to get fans from all across the world in one spot to come see you. And these are people that probably have never even checked out independent wrestling before, but because there's wrestling going on in Tampa, and it's during hours where, of course, WWE's not running the show, or what have you, or let's just say they're not going to this event. This is their time to check out these independent wrestlers and these promotions and get to know them. So for me, it was like, man, it's a bigger blow to the independent wrestling community, to me, than it was towards the WWE. I mean, of course, financially, yeah, it's a big one for WWE. But as far as independent wrestling, it just seems like it hit a little bit more harder for the performers and also the promotions. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, do you all agree with that?
I feel like it was a big hit. Everybody had their, like, going down to WrestleMania weekend. That's what everybody called it. Then nobody called it like anything different. Just called it WrestleMania weekend. Even though it had a million independent shows, it was just called WrestleMania weekend. It was wrestlers weekend. You know what I mean? Is every wrestler in the world that is a wrestler wants to be down in that area at that time, and not having that now. Go ahead.
So it's like it's like our Woodstock, you know what I mean? Like everybody gather, everybody's cool with each other. The bars playing, their wrestling theme songs. It's just like a big old St. Patrick's Day, but a wrestling theme.
Absolutely, man. It's everyone getting together for the same thing, and it's just one big party that goes, honestly, Wednesday to Monday.
And if you're like myself, you definitely party hard all those days, and all those days turn into nights, and those nights turn into days. And you may sleep maybe 4 hours that whole entire 4 or 5 days that you're there, but it's definitely well worth it, because uh, the atmosphere and the people that you get to meet, the fans that you get to meet for the first time, and things of that sort. I mean, even for me and El Cheech over here, like the first time we met was at WrestleMania in New Orleans, and it was like just based off that moment, it was like, okay, cool. It's like, all right, here we are in the area where everyone has a like mind. It's like we're all here for one thing and one thing only. We're here to enjoy some wrestling. I mean, and literally it brought people together that you would have never thought would bring together. Like for me, I end up meeting people from Germany. It end up meeting people from Switzerland, meeting people from different parts of the country, having drinks with these people, having parties with these people after leaving Bourbon Street and going to different strip clubs and what have you. But that's neither here nor there, and I'm not going to let anybody know what else happened. But you get what I'm saying. I mean, it's just a very, very fun time.
Oh, exactly. Like, it's the best place to be in as a wrestler at that time. Is the best place to be, because where else would you want to be as a wrestler other than WrestleMania itself? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of those shows, especially the indie shows, they're like sleepers. You know what I mean? You be having some good ass matches in, what I mean? Everybody, of course, WrestleMania is the main focus, but after the weekend pass, you look back on it and it's like, wow. Because I remember last year I went to New York, and I remember everybody was talking about that Swaggle against Big Papa Pump match. You know what I mean? It might have been nothing fancy or whatever, but it was just had people captivating. And I even heard, some people say that it was probably the match of the weekend. You know what I mean? And a lot of people come out to WrestleMania weekend just for the indie, you know.
That's what I love about AIW, man. They always book the matches you never thought you wanted to see, and then you leave going, I'm so happy I saw that.
Definitely.
So speaking of AIW, what are some future goals far as in AIW for you all? I mean, you're definitely the tag team champs right now. Who are some future opponents that you want to definitely face as a tag team once everything is back up and running?
Well, of course, I would love to face the Rock and Roll Express. That's a given.
One team I'd love to bring back up to AIW and get a chance against is the Besties. I think we have some similarities. They love to come out and have fun, play along with their entrance, but once that bell rings, man, they go from 10 straight to 11.
What will be a dream match for you guys?
A dream match.
As in, like, anything's on the table?
Oh yeah, everything's on the table, no matter where from, part of the world, promotion or whatever.
That's a tough one, man. Like off the top of my head, I don't know. I don't know who would want like a dream match or a dream opponent. I mean, I do. I just have my heart set on the Rock and Roll Express. That's just like my cup of tea. That's what I want is a Rock and Roll Express match.
Man, if Jeff Hardy gets released in this like wave of cuts, man, and Matt can do indies, just all I ask, man, just one Hardy Boys match. That's all I'll ever need in wrestling.
Whoa, that's huge. What about the I forgot. I don't know what the name. They changed the name, but the team formerly known as the Revival, now that they release of their
The
duties. What is they called now?
I have also another. I think the Unholy Alliance, the team of Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck, would be a really killer dream match that I didn't know I wanted.
It's funny that one sounds that it could actually happen.
We'll bust out the pleather for that match.
Yeah, I'll bust out the baseball pants for that match.
I'm definitely game. Hell, I'm definitely game to see his shit. But so we talked about your dream matches. We talked about some great matches, of course, that you've had over 2019, and of course, we've also spoke on, of course, matches that you definitely want to see during Mania weekend, and how Mania weekend is like the big event, not only for the WrestleMania, but it's big for the independents. Now let's talk about this. Speaking of wrestling, because this is a wrestling podcast, why else would we talk about anything else but wrestling? So something big happened yesterday, and it crushed me, and I'm pretty sure it crushed everyone else. Let's talk about Howard Finkel, legendary voice. I'm sorry, that was today. Legendary voice, legendary ring announcer. I don't think announcers get that much credit, and they should.
Good ones should. There's good, there's great, and there's bad. Howard Finkel is the greatest ring announcer that's ever walked God's green earth that did wrestling. Like he could do anything. He could announce me walking in my bedroom, for crying out loud. It would have been great. like the way the Fink would announce people just always it felt like a championship match no matter what it was. The way he even after you won, the way he said it, the way he just played it up, it's just the Fink. Nobody could do it like Howard Finkel.
Yeah, man, the Fink definitely just, no matter what he said or who was in the match, he just made you kind of want to see it more. He made it feel like it was a bigger deal. It always felt like it was a championship boxing match, and it was just, I don't know.
Definitely, whenever he was on the matches, like the match was important. Like his. Then after a few years, he was more incorporated in some set sets and stuff like that, with like Jericho in the back and stuff, which it was fun. But there's no other person that comes to mind. Other Buffer and stuff in UFC and stuff like that. Well, Howard Finkel is, like you said, especially when somebody won the title, and it was just, he just fit perfect.
I mean, for me as a fan, that was the first voice as far as wrestling that I heard to actually introduce people to the ring. I mean, that's the first ring announcer that I knew growing up as a kid, as far as television. That's the very first one that I could relate to. And it's definitely sad, of course, to see that happen. And of course, yesterday with all that talent, being released, it's definitely tough. But it's one thing that I definitely I wanted to say. It's like, man, my heart breaks for everyone that got their release the other day, because of course it's unexpected. It wasn't something that was pre-planned, and I don't think any company is going to release that many people in one day, period. But for that to happen, it definitely what was an eye opener for some fans out there, in Twitter land and what have you. They have their opinions. I have mine, but I'm basically going to put it like this. Um, Last time I checked, me personally, I've never managed a $1 billion company. Hell, most people have a hard time even managing their bank account for more than 2 months without falling behind on bills. So I can't be the one to say that, they should have released this person and that person. It's like, well, my whole thing is I don't want anyone to get released. I don't want anyone to be without a job, especially during this time and this age of what's going on right now with this pandemic. The only thing I can pretty much say to that situation, just in my opinion, is that I hope that everyone involved in that mass release is able to find work quickly, and that everyone's able to bounce back and be able to feed their families. That's just my opinion. Uh, I don't know about you guys, but that's where I'm leaving it at.
Well, all I got to say to that is just welcome back, boys, to the independent wrestling life. The thing about wrestling now is there's so many places for wrestlers to go. There's not just the one place anymore. You can go overseas, you can go here, you can go there, there's AEW, there's NWA, there's places to go. So like you will still watch them wherever they go. If you love them, you'll watch them. Like I loved Drew McIntyre. I watched where he went when he got released early on, when he first went to WWE. So it is, to me, I know these people are gonna find other places and other things to do. Hell, half of them can open up schools, for crying out loud. Half of them probably already have schools.
And just like you mentioned, Drew McIntyre, I still got my Heath Slater theory. You know, he's gonna go in the Indies, he's gonna do his run, and he's gonna come back and get that strap.
He's got to come back super jacked first, though.
Yes, that would be super awesome. Like if he actually comes, cause he got kids. You know.
Hey, man, they always say the comeback's always better than the first run.
Definitely.
I mean, McIntyre proves it.
Oh yeah, McIntyre definitely proved. I mean, when McIntyre left, man, he wasn't as built, and he came back, and he's this massive freak. You know, he had a great run in Impact Wrestling, a great run overseas, and he comes back and he just goes roughshod and tears down the house. So it's definitely something that we'll definitely have to wait and see how the situation plays out. Like I said, my thoughts and prayers are definitely with each and every one of those people that were released, and you know, and my whole thing is just hoping everyone's able to find work and find it fast. But I don't want to end the show on a sad note. I actually want to play a little trivia, right? So we're gonna ask three questions. Three questions. Each one of these questions is worth merchandise from your merchandise store that Marks and Mikes is going to go ahead and purchase and donate. Well, why am I saying donate? Give away to random listeners of the show. So it's very simple. I'm going to give you a question. I'm going to give you three answers to choose in between A, B, or C. Of course, we all know there's only one right answer. Choose the right answer, and that goes towards a merchandise purchase. Three questions. You have a chance here to go 3 for 3 at the free throw line and get all three shipped out, or, you know, 2 for 3, 1 for 3, however you want it. But we are definitely going to get some merchandise regardless to support the independent wrestling community. So with that being said, are you all ready to play?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, just to start off, none of these questions are wrestling related. So that definitely puts you all in a predicament, but we're going to see. So you mentioned music earlier, and we mentioned video games. So I'm going to go pop culture, and let's do some pop culture. So first question is, oh, this should be a good one. All right. What year did the Nintendo 64 come out? Was it 1999? A 1999, B 1998, or C the year 2000?
Am I good to answer?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'm gonna get. All right, I'm gonna guess 90. Was 96 one of my birthday year? I'm gonna go.
No, man. No. No, it's not.
Bro, I was just gonna my birthday year.
Well, to actually answer that question, that was a trick question. You actually got it right. The 64 did come out in 96, and 96 wasn't even on the actual answer. So that's 1 for 3 so far. So that's the first question. So you got that.
Ooh.
Okay, so next question. Here we go. Next question, and this is going to come from the world of television. Um, okay, awesome. This TV show was on Showtime and it is a TV show about a suburban mother who has to sell marijuana in order to go ahead and financially support her two sons. Is the name of that show A, Weeds, B, Joint, or C, Roll Up?
Shout
Weeds.
out to that mom.
All
Is it
right,
weeds?
so we're going with Weeds, and Weeds is correct. That is right. Nancy Botwin.
Ding, ding, ding.
So we got that one.
Score
All
one for the boy back home.
Woo,
right.
go Philly.
All right, so we're 2 for 3. One more question, and this one should be a tough one. And I'm going to actually dig for this question here. Give me 1 second.
Well, actually, if you look at it, me and Marino got one each, so actually we're 2 for 3.
You're right. You're right. Two for 3. So here we are. We're going for the last and final. So let's
You're
do
so good at
this.
math, Philly.
I'm good for something besides a hot tag.
Woo! A tag.
All right. So last question here, and this is going to be a tough one here, and I really hope you all are able to get this one because I think 3 for 3 sounds good here. And I'm actually going to switch this one up from pop culture, and I'm going to go to movies, which is still part of pop culture, whatever. But this movie came out, and it starred a comedian who was famous for stand up. This comedian starred in this movie with another comedian slash rapper. Uh, this movie has three movies inside the franchise, 1, 2, and 3. The third one just came out in 2020. It was a pretty big, massive hit. Um, let's see what else can I do here for this question. Oh, and also with this movie, the sequels are very spaced apart. I'm gonna give you your 3 choices. Is it A, Lethal Weapon 5, B, Bad Boys 3, or C, is it uh, John Wick?
Bad boys,
I
bad
say
boys.
Bad Boys.
Hey, there we go. Bad Boys 3 just came out. Sequels are spaced out far apart. It looks like PME just went 3 for 3 at the free throw line, which means for you listeners, we
Yes,
got
sir.
That's why we're the
three
champs,
PME.
baby.
Put
We
us on
got
Jeopardy.
we got 3 PME t-shirts coming out for you all. When this episode does drop, I'm going to post a question on Twitter and IG. Very simple instructions. All you have to do is simply follow the instructions, subscribe to the show, and leave us a voice message. The first 3 people to do it will be the first 3 winners of the merchandise, and we'll be sending that out to you all. But I definitely want to thank PME for coming on the show. Definitely playing
Thank you.
trivia with us, shooting the shit, of course, for this re-up episode. But let the listeners know where they can find you all at. Let's start off with Philly C. Where can they find you at on social media?
They can find me at Philly_Collins on Twitter. And they can find me at Philly1Collins on Instagram and Philly C. I had to get a new Facebook because my old Facebook locked me out because I haven't used that account in forever and I forgot the password. Sorry, everybody. So I got a new Facebook.
All right, Moreno, where can they follow you at?
Twitter, you can get me at Marino Tenaglia. Instagram, Mind of Marino. Facebook, Marino Tenaglia, the Philly Marino Experience, also on Facebook. If you don't win this t-shirt giveaway, feel free to go to prowrestlingtees.com/the PM experience. Just got some shirts put up there too.
And please,
So
if
y'all
you
get
do
some.
win this shirt, oh yeah, you can get some. He can get some. Marino, I hope you got some. But if you get these nice PME one-of-a-kind T-shirts, I want to see them pictures. You got to send them pictures over. Don't send nudies because my girlfriend will yell at me. So don't send those nudies. But send those pictures of those T-shirts.
Yeah, post them when you get them. Tag us.
Tag Marino.
Just play it safe.
Then tag me. Play it safe. Tag Marino. It's all Marino's fault. I didn't do nothing.
You trying to get me in trouble, bro? Hot tag. You're in. Your turn.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey man, the phone's breaking up. Hey, it's skipping. CD skipping. I'm sorry, guys.
It's a bot.
The phone you have tried to connect is not. You can't. Is uncompletable. Boys and girls.
I mean, I definitely, man, this is definitely a fun time, fun conversation, man. It's always good catching up with you guys.
Hey, it's always a pleasure.
As soon as it's all over with, we're all going to have us some drinks, and we're going to have plenty of drinks, whether that's at Good Company or the Odeon or wherever. But, hey, drinks are on me whenever we get the chance to definitely link up.
Well, boys, it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you people out there in listening land. But I will be for sure grabbing one of those drinks because it's going to be a nice time once we can all see each other again.
Yes, man. Thank you guys so much for having us on. Definitely looking forward to getting back to things, and can't wait to sit down and drink some Coronas. Am I right?
Boo! Boo! Get off the stage! Get off the stage! What's up with this airline food?
Asshole!
About Coronas, man. Maybe some Dos Equis, but I don't know about Coronas anymore.
No, Corona rock all the way. No, I've been drinking wine lately. My girl has me drinking wine. I've been drinking this fucking Moscato. I'm a wino now.
It's pretty good. It's good for you.
This was she says too, but 2 bottles ain't good for anybody.
No, no, definitely.
But until then, everybody, listen. Wish you all some good times and good vibes. And hey,
if you can feel it coming in the air tonight, it's gonna be Philly C
and Marino T.
PME. And we are out. We gonna catch y'all next episode, man. Appreciate y'all listening. 100. I want to thank Philly and Moreno for stopping by the show. It was so much fun having these guys on the show. And hey, it's very simple. Only thing you have to do after listening to this episode is leave a voice message inside the description link on the episode itself. Click on the link, leave the voicemail, send us a DM to either Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, the Book of Faces, and let us know the information. We'll make sure we send that out to you. I mean, like you heard on the commercial break, there are plenty of winners. I mean, one winner just finally received his T-shirt from PB Smooth's contest. It may have took a month and a half to get there, but of course we're dealing with this pandemic. But definitely want to give a shout out to Pro Wrestling Dad all the way out in Wales. Finally got his PB Smooth merchandise. But it's very simple. To win this PME merchandise, leave a voicemail at the end of this show. Go ahead and click on that description click the link inside the description of this episode, leave a voicemail, send us a DM, let us know you did it, and we'll send it out to you as soon as possible. We have some more merchandise to mail out to some winners who have left a voicemail, and that will be coming soon. Cheech, what can you say about that interview?
Well, I could say that I was on a trip to the Poconos during this interview, but I heard it was a great interview.
It's a smooth conversation, you know what I mean? Two cool kids, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna go places, you know what I mean? Like, they got the chemistry, and you know what I mean? Like, they're good guys, you know what I mean? Like, they're one of the good guys, and, from AIW, we talked from, everything that they, had planned at the time, we never thought what was going to happen, and, how bad it was going to be. But, it was a great conversation with both of them, for real.
Yeah, real talk, man. Definitely. My favorite PMA moment before we close out the show would have had to been when they finally won the AIW Tag Team Championships. That was a beautiful.
That's the Odeon.
Yep.
The AKA AIW Arena
match. But before we get out of here, man, definitely want to thank you all for tuning in, listening to this episode. Make sure you do follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on IG, on IG, and of course on Twitter and on Facebook. It's all the same. Marks with Mics. That's MarksWithMics. Follow us there. Subscribe to the podcast. Leave us, of course, a voice message or comment, and we'll get back to you. But before we get out of here, we have to remind you all once again to wash your hands and wash your ass.
And use some damn soap.
Yes, use some soap. And as Cheech always says, face to ass, but not ass
to face. Thank y'all. Peace.
Good night.